Hey, this is Matt once again. What you're about to know the video is another paid request, this time from a werewolf. Thank you so much for that. And for those interested in requesting any type of videos, topics, reactions, commentaries, what have you, I will try to get to them as soon as I can. That's why I'm trying to put out 3, 4 a day. I apologize for the wait, but I'm doing the best that I can. But for those who do, feel free to send them either directly to my PayPal or join my Patreon. Both links are down below in the info box. Now this is for Final Fantasy Advent Children. This is I guess can't really call it anime. It's a CGI animated film. Very nice looking CGI, especially for its time. That acts as a sequel to the video game Final Fantasy VII, where you bring back the characters of Cloud, a little bit of characters like Barret, Tifa, Sephiroth, the villain. It takes place about 2 years after the game. Now, Final Fantasy VII is a game I remember playing a long time ago on the PlayStation 1. Used to own the game. Well, technically I still own it, but they're like loose discs that were found. I just wanted to get rid of them very quickly. But it's not in any case or anything. But I haven't played that game for well over 20 years. So I remember vaguely the opening where there's this pull-out wide shot of the city. I think it was called Midgar. And the music. And then Cloud was this soldier that joined this resistance and used to be with the bad guys, but he's with them. And they're rebels and they're supposed to blow up this reactor. But to try to go into any other detail, I can't do it. It's one of those things where, like I said, maybe one day I'll give a look at a movie, but I looked them up, and because it's a very long game, it was like a lot of CDs. It's like 13 hours to watch, so I'm not going to have any time anytime soon to watch a 13-hour thing. Maybe one day down the road I'll check it out to refresh my mind, because I don't think these CDs worked in playing it, and I've never been good at RPGs. I've been terrible, and plus I'm so impatient on that front where I don't want to stay in the fucking same field killing the same enemies because I gotta get this thing up in order to get more life and more HP and more other shit, or as they call it, farming. I don't want to do that. So like I said, this place takes place 2 years after, where the city, people still live in it, but it's in ruins. Some about the bad guy, Sephiroth. There's this company, Shinra, that were taking the life stream, which is this energy source from the planet. So it was killing the planet, but it was making the company richer and giving people power and stuff. Something to do with this. There was this alien that was found, and I'm trying to remember how it links in together. One thing leads to another, and Sephiroth wanted to find it and destroy the planet. Like I said, my vagueness definitely shows. Sephiroth hated the planet, wanted revenge on the planet. And it was 2 years later, and there are people living there, but there's a group of people that have this disease called geostigma. They have this disease, and they don't know what to do. They don't know how much longer they have to live. I just get the idea that they got this disease because the planet itself is somewhat infected, whether it be with the remains of Sephiroth or whatever else it is. And not a whole lot happens in the first half of this movie. I would say this: I was not a fan of this film. I'm like 5 minutes in. I know. I was not a fan of this movie. I thought this movie was very boring. At times confusing. It doesn't help that I don't remember much about the game. So some details like of the alien and stuff is a bit hazy. This might also be called emo fantasy because Cloud is. I don't remember him being this much of an emo motherfucker in the game. Again, it's been over 20 years since I played, so maybe he is. But yeah, you might as well call this emo fantasy. Goth children. Because just Cloud is such an emo, brooding Twinkie. With all the filling. Brooding twink of a fucking character. Just take your fucking Panasonic flip phone and flip it up your keister to give you a bit of a jolt. Fuck your Panasonic flip phone that they show 18 times. Get a fucking haircut, hippie, and get some fucking personality. He's a delivery guy. He's also got the disease. And because he got the disease, as well as a bit of survival guilt, because there was a girl named Aerith who died, as well as another guy he knew. So he feels guilty of that, and he's got the disease, and he doesn't want help, so he wants to go at it his own, but just being emo and brooding and emo. And if you're a fan, I mean, there's a lot of people that love the film, just like a 7.79 to B, so if you love the game, feel free to check it out, but the CGI is very well done. The music, there is music from the game, and I remember it is very satisfying or bigger than life music that fits the proceedings. But the story was just very bland and boring, and the characters, like if you're a fan of the game, like Tifa, which is a childhood friend of Cloud, and she was in Final Fantasy VII, she has a decent supporting role, but the others, you don't see them till over halfway through. And even then, if they're in a combined total of 5 minutes, of like 5 minutes of this, 5 minutes of this guy, they really don't do a whole lot. Just here's a cameo. So, for example, you got Red 13, the red lion wolf creature. He's in it for a couple of minutes. Barrett, the big guy with the machine gun arm, he's in it for a few times. And when he talks, it's very much, "Yo, man, how's it going?" Like very stereotypical. I don't know how else to put it. And some of those other characters, the guy who's commanding the flying ship, they're in it for this amount. So, like, not much at all. In fact, there's more time with these two bodyguards to this president of Shinra that is in a chair for mostly, covering most of his face, and these two henchmen trying to do their comedy routine with each other. You have the more stoic guy, you have the more outrageous guy, and I didn't give rat's ass about them. The bad guys, you have these three, again, more emo, brooding twinks. And so many times they have their fucking hair in their eyes. I'm like, just snip this shit. Who want their mother and have mommy issues. The mother being that, I think that alien figure that is the remains are in this. I forget what the hell it's called. So it's kind of boring. It's kind of hard to follow. This is definitely a movie that encapsulates style over substance. And I'm sure you'd enjoy the style of the animation and some of the fight scenes. Some of the fight scenes are definitely anime fueled, but done in CG. where people are bouncing off and going this and that way. And there were times where I was confused what was going on in the action scenes. Because they're flying everywhere, like Tifa's fighting this guy in a church, and they're jumping over the place like the Matrix on acid. Same with this motorcycle chase where I can't commend the animation enough. It just like they could do anything. Which I mean, I guess you just say that with anime as it is not anime, but any other anime stuff you do as well. And plus, it's Final Fantasy. It's not like realism is is in the vicinity with those games. So yeah, these three people are trying to find Mother, and they get the sick children saying, "Mother gave this gift to us all to fight the planet, who's holding us back." But even that doesn't go too far, because it's not like, oh, there's a little bit of, oh my god, I don't want to hurt these innocent people. But even that's dropped pretty quickly. And like, there's a character I don't fucking remember from the game who's got this red cloak that flies around and gets Cloud and gets him the fuck out of Dodge. For a good chunk of the first half, Cloud was just getting his ass kicked. Hell, it looked like Tifa did a better job kicking the one bad guy's ass than Cloud did when Tifa fought the guy in the church. Tries to build up this orphan named Denzel, which is probably the first and only time I've seen a little Asian boy, I think he's supposed to be Asian, white Asian, named Denzel. And other than the, 20 times it shows the Panasonic flip phone, there's a lot of exposition dialogue in this. A lot. So that means I should be understanding this more, but I didn't be. If it's a love letter to the diehard Final Fantasy VII fans, they enjoy it. I'm glad you got the movie you wanted. I'm glad for that. It just wasn't for me. There's this big dragon where finally our characters like, oh, there's the guy Barrett, and they finally come in, but they they fight all these like smaller dragons, and most of the stuff they're doing isn't doing shit. Till Cloud has to go fight him, and people are doing alley oops to him, and he does this big maneuver to fuck up the big dragon. And then that leads into the big motorcycle chase, where I don't know what happened. During the motorcycle chase, there was two guys, bad guys. I don't remember what happened to the third bad guy. And I don't remember us seeing him until the very end of the film. And then during this motorcycle, they're both on it, and then one bad guy jumps on the other guy's motorcycle. And I'm on this time, the two henchmen are up front on a bridge ready to blow it up. Cloud is chasing after them with his big fucking sword. The two henchmen blow up the bridge. And then where did the other bad guy go? Because then, if the bad guy was thrown off, I must have missed it. So blame that on me. Because I kept rewinding and going, what happened? Like, 1 minute they're going through a tunnel, one's on the back of the other guy driving the motorcycle. Explosion happens. Cloud does a jump on his motorcycle. And then it's the bad guy, and there's just one guy on the cycle. I'm like, where's the other guy? Where's the second guy? And you don't see that guy till the end of the movie. It's just Cloud chasing this other guy. And that's the thing, you don't even get Cloud really a satisfying kicking these guys' ass. Punching them, kicking them, throwing them bow. It's a lot of like back and forth, back and forth. Until ultimately, bad guy opens up the thing. The main bad guy from the game, Sephiroth, returns. They have a fight. Very overdramatic voice acting. They go back and forth in their fights. Ultimately, Cloud defeats him. He does his maneuver, which might have been in the game. Like I said, it's been a while. It was like from here to here to here to here to here, just going back and forth to fuck up the guy. Creates this rain, which is healing everybody from the sickness. So they're not getting down with the sickness anymore. The two bad guys remain. Cloud goes up, does a hiya. Seems like it blows all three of them up. But then Cloud is healed. He's alive. Sees sort of the ghost of Ben Kenobi and Anakin Skywalker and Yoda, and says goodbye. Or in this case, Aerith, the lady. See, everything's okay. He smiles, and then the movie's over. I just, I remember seeing this back in the day when I was a bit more knowledgeable in Final Fantasy VII, being disappointed. Just because, I thought the first half was just kind of boring. It felt like not a whole lot happened in the first half. I thought the villains were trying to lame reject versions of Sephiroth, who had mommy issue crybabies. Cloud had like no personality. Again, just a brooding emo, emo fantasy. I'm not joking with that title. I won't put it on the YouTube because people will be like, "There's no such thing as an emo fantasy." Yeah, I know it's called a joke, but there are some people that don't get that. It's like with Shang-Chi and the Legend of the Rings. I put Bulletproof Month 2 as a joke. Because there's been no comic book movies starring Asian folks. I'm like, well, there was Bulletproof Month. That was based on a comic book, and it starred Chow Yun-Fat. So Bulletproof Month 2. But people literally thought, there's no such thing as a Bulletproof Month 2, Matt. I'm like, yeah, I know. The poster says Shang-Chi, and if you actually watch a review, I explain it, but... So sometimes I try to have fun with those titles, but there's a lot of people that just don't get it. Beautiful animation, that's really all I get out of it. Maybe you can enjoy the fight scenes and that anime style. I don't know, here... Because a lot of the anime, I think they're very violent and brutal and bloody, and obviously this isn't going to be that case. So it's kind of like a lot of swords clashing, other than the Tifa and the one guy fighting the church. Which sadly, might have been the best fight in the movie. Because then Cloud just pretty much gets his ass kicked, or... Like the motorcycle bit, I thought that kind of stuff looked cooler in a film like Akira. So I don't know, if people love it, that's cool, just not for me. So with that said, thanks for watching. We'll see you guys later. Bye-bye.